Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, this is Steve from oneminutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about the forehand return of serve. I want to explain the differences between the forehand return of serve and the forehand ground stroke, and also explain how you can apply these differences in your game so that you have a consistent, reliable and powerful forehand return of serve. Now, the forehand return of serve can be confusing in one way, because you can have players who have a great forehand return of serve but a really poor forehand ground stroke. And then there are other players who have a really average forehand or poor forehand return of serve, but they've got a great forehand ground stroke. So to have the best of both worlds, the great return and the great ground stroke, we have to have a clear understanding of the difference in technique between the forehand ground stroke and the forehand return of serve. I'm going to show you the three fundamental differences and how you can apply them to your game. The first thing is the split. And when we split the hands, when we split the left hand from the racket, on the ground stroke, generally it's either at the end of the first phase of the take back, or it's as the left arm passes the body. If I show you from this side, it might be easier. So the normal ground stroke, the take back is like so, or like so. On the return of serve, the split is immediate. So we want to let go of the racket the moment that we ascertain that it's a forehand stroke. So the split happens earlier on the return of serve. The second fundamental difference is the line of the racket. Now, some players take the racket back like Federer, with the racket almost at 90 degrees to the ground, and some players take it back like Kyrgios at like about a 45-degree angle or something even a little bit lower. But always on the ground stroke, the racket is above the hand on the take back. On the return of serve, the racket wants to be parallel to the ground and probably parallel to the hand. So it goes back like so. So the split is early and the racket is parallel to the ground and pretty close to level with the hand. From this direction, like so. The ground stroke, like so. The return of serve, like so. Now, the reason that we need this different take back is that the forehand ground stroke is a rotational stroke. We create tremendous power, racket speed and spin using angular momentum hitting across the line of the ball. But on the return of serve, where the ball is coming like a bullet straight at you, then you want this split to be as early as possible so that we can swing through the line of the ball as early and as late and as long as possible. And then we have to look at the ending of the stroke. And the ending of the forehand return of serve, I suggest that you finish with both hands above the eyes. So we split early, parallel, and now both hands above the eyes. Again, split early, parallel, and both hands above the eyes. The reason I like this ending is that we want to try and swing through the ball as often as possible. This will mean we win the collision with the ball, the racket won't wobble or deviate, and we'll be able to guide the ball or drive the ball with consistency and accuracy. But we also have to keep the ball in play. And if you're returning a big serve, then the problem is that if you swing through in a normal fashion, then you're going to add speed to the ball. And that means that you're probably going to hit long, or at least a lot of the time. So we want somewhere in between the two. We want to complete the stroke, but we don't want to add speed to the ball. So if we swing through and finish with both hands above the eyes, then you'll have a very solid reference point for the ending of the stroke, where you'll have controlled the ball, driven through the ball and won the collision, but you won't be adding speed to the ball. So to just run through these three again, the split is early, the racket is parallel to the ground, and the finish is with both hands above the eyes. Try these now and apply them to your game or your player's game. It really will make a huge difference, and you can turn your forehand return into a really major weapon. At the beginning of this session, I explained that some players have a great ground stroke and a poor return of serve, or vice versa, and the reason for this is very simple. Some players apply the reference points and the fundamentals of the return of serve to their return of serve and their ground strokes. And other players apply the reference points to the ground stroke, to the ground strokes and the return of serve. This applies to even the highest level. Jamie Murray, who was the #1 doubles player in the world, has a great return of serve, but a very, very average and poor for a professional player forehand ground stroke. You also get a lot of older players who have a great return of serve, but not very good ground stroke because all they've played their whole lives is doubles. And so they're used to the return of serve, but if you can engage them in a baseline rally, then they'll actually slice or lob a lot, because if the ball doesn't have speed coming onto them, then they can't actually generate anything. You can have the best of both worlds. Let's look at the differences between the normal ground stroke and the return of serve, and you can have a strong, powerful return of serve and still have a great ground stroke. I hope this makes sense. I'd love to have your feedback. You know we enjoy your conversations and I reply to every single comment. If you want to practice this, then have a look at our partners playyourcourt.com. They send professional tennis coaches direct to your area and to your local courts. It's a great service, and the information on their membership is in the comments section below. There's a discount on their membership if you use this link. And maybe I can help you more with your game. We do one-to-one online coaching. Maybe if you want to get to the next level or you've got a stumbling block, perhaps I can take you past that. It's a unique service. It's helping people of all ages and all levels all over the world. The information from that is on our website below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. And see you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.